This is a second stimulus check update. In this video, we'll talk about how Jerome Powell is urging Congress to send more stimulus to the American people. Yesterday, President Trump tweeted that he wanted to cancel all stimulus negotiations until after the elections. Then hours later, he backtracked and he said that he wants to send $1,200 stimulus checks to the American people immediately. Before we get started, if you could do me a favor and hit the like button down below, it really helps out the channel and I appreciate your support. I hope you're having a great day so far. Let's get right into it. So first, Jerome Powell is urging for more stimulus from Congress. Jerome Powell is the Federal Reserve Chairman, basically in charge of printing the money in our country, and he is supporting the idea of more stimulus to the American people. More specifically, he said, by contrast, the risk of overdoing it seem for now to be smaller. Even if policy actions ultimately prove to be greater than needed, they will not go to waste. So Jerome Powell is saying that we need to give more stimulus to the American people, and basically pointing to the Republicans who don't want to give more stimulus to the American people because they are more concerned about the country's debt than they are with helping out the American people. He's saying that it now is not the time to focus on our country's debt. With millions of American families struggling, barely able to pay for rent, barely able to pay for groceries, now is not the time to focus on our country's debt. We need to help out these American people. Then he said the recovery will be stronger and move faster if monetary policy and fiscal policy continue to work side by side to provide support to the economy until it is clearly out of the woods. So Senate Republicans are mainly the ones who are pushing against any more stimulus to the American people, mainly because of the country's deficit. But to point out, a lot of those Senate Republicans are getting six-figure salaries and a lot of them have million-dollar net worths. Therefore, they're not feeling the hunger, they're not feeling the pain of the American people that they're supposed to be helping. Moving on to second stimulus checks and what President Trump was saying. Lisa Arnold commented yesterday saying, "Hi David, I was wondering if it's true, did President Trump order all stimulus check negotiations to stop until after the election?" Yes, President Trump did say that. He did say that he wanted to cancel all stimulus negotiations until after the election. And there were a lot of headlines that came out. President Trump said that he's calling off stimulus negotiations with Democrats until after the elections. Basically, what happened, more specifically what he said in that tweet, which was around 2:48 p.m. yesterday, Tuesday, October 6th, he said Nancy Pelosi is asking for $2.4 trillion to bail out poorly run, high-crime Democrat states, money that is no way related to COVID-19. We made a very generous offer of $1.6 trillion, and as usual, she is not negotiating in good faith. What President Trump is referring to with that $1.6 trillion bill, the White House came out with a $1.6 trillion stimulus package, which gave out $1,200 stimulus checks, $400 unemployment, as well as money towards Paycheck Protection Program, among other things. He then says, I am rejecting their request and looking to the future of our country. I have instructed my representatives to stop negotiating until after the election, when immediately after I win, we will pass a major stimulus bill that focuses on hardworking Americans and small business. I have asked Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell not to delay, but to instead focus full-time on approving my outstanding nominee to the United States Supreme Court, Amy Coney Barrett. So he said this around 2:48 p.m. yesterday, and there was a lot of backlash from it. Just from him saying that, a lot of the global markets struggled, and the Dow Jones actually went down 370 points right when he said that there was not going to be any stimulus negotiations. Let me know down in the comments below, what do you think about President Trump saying this? It definitely shocked a lot of people, and there were a lot of Republicans who were actually against this. So there were Republican lawmakers. As soon as President Trump made this announcement to end stimulus negotiations, a lot of people spoke out against this, civilians, but Republicans as well. So John Katko of New York, he said that he disagrees with President Trump, stating that with lives at stake, we cannot afford to stop negotiations on a relief package. He then said, I strongly urge the president to rethink this move. A lot of people were very upset about President Trump just urging this announcement of not having any stimulus negotiations. But at the same time, the president doesn't really have control over stimulus negotiations to happen. He could tell Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin to stop talking, which is kind of what he did temporarily, and then he decided to start the stimulus negotiations again, which I'll get into later on. Then also a few other Republicans, Jamie Butler, Tom Reed, Dusty Johnson, in a joint statement said inaction is not an action. So strongly against this. Susan Collins said that this was a huge mistake. Then later on, Mark Meadows, which is the White House Chief of Staff, he had an interview with Fox News, and they asked Mark Meadows about any piecemeal negotiations regarding stimulus. Mark Meadows said that stimulus negotiations are off. And Nancy Pelosi, Steve Mnuchin were supposed to have another talk, another stimulus negotiations, but Steve Mnuchin said that he couldn't have that talk anymore. Nancy Pelosi was asked whether that steroids influenced President Trump's decision on the coronavirus relief and ending the negotiations. So President Trump, as you may know, got infected with the COVID virus. He was put on dexamethasone, which was a steroid, among many other medications. He is still not in perfect condition. He still has COVID, or that's what they're saying. He's in quarantine in the White House, so he's still not completely healed yet. Nancy Pelosi responded to this question as, believe me, there are people who think that steroids have an impact on your thinking, so I don't know. I do practice medicine on the side without benefit of a diploma as a mother and a grandmother, but I hadn't gone to the mental health yet. Then hours later, President Trump urges Congress to pass $1,200 stimulus checks, among a few other things. So he kind of backtracks. I think after all the backlash of his own Republicans, after a lot of American people saying, hey, what about stimulus going on? We can't just wait a month with the elections November 3rd, just a few weeks away. We can't wait until after the elections for any stimulus. So then President Trump said, let me get the tweet. He said, the House and Senate should immediately approve $25 billion for airline payroll support and $135 billion for Paycheck Protection Program for small business. Both of these will be fully paid for with unused funds from the CARES Act. Have this money, I will sign it now. So he said this at 9:54 p.m. yesterday, so about 6 hours after he sent that first tweet. Then I'm sure a lot of people were saying, hey, what about stimulus checks? We want stimulus checks as well. Then later on, he sent another, about 20 minutes later, he sent another tweet saying, if I am sent a standalone bill for stimulus checks of $1,200, they will go out to our great people immediately. I am ready to sign right now. Are you listening, Nancy? Referring to Nancy Pelosi. And then he tagged Mark Meadows, Mitch McConnell, Kevin McCarthy, Nancy Pelosi, and Chuck Schumer. So basically saying that now he wants to send stimulus checks to the American people. Before he wanted to cancel it. I think this would be great if the American people could just get a $1,200 stimulus check, and then a lot of people just won't be stressing anymore. A lot of people are stressing on a regular basis, worrying when they're going to get a second $1,200 stimulus check. I think if Congress could come to an agreement of just passing a single standalone $1,200 stimulus check, this would solve a lot of problems. And that is all the stimulus news I have for you today. To cheer up your mood a little bit, here is my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is a tip of the day. I want to tell you the one thing when you feel sad, you have to do something that you really want to make you feel better or make you feel true. Or you can also, if you help somebody, then you'll feel even better or something. Or if something's really into you and you're really feeling good, you should do that as well. Bye, this is Bella. This was the tip of the day.
If you want 3 free money opportunities, you could get 2 free stocks if you sign up through Webull, get a 3rd free stock if you sign up through Robinhood, get a free $75 if you create a North One bank account and deposit $50. They give you a free $75 once you deposit that $50. And if you want to feel a lot better, feel motivated, lift up your mood a little bit, empower yourself, I just published a new video on my other channel, Wise Vibes, of the 10 Lessons of Success by Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins is one of the best motivational speakers out there, and I comprised 10 successful lessons by him. You could click this video right over here if you want to get in a better mood and feel like you could accomplish anything you want in the world. I recommend clicking that video right now, and I'll see you in the next video. Have an amazing day. Take care. Be safe. Thank you for watching.